welcome to the Euro preview from sportsbet.io. This is this week's Bundesliga version, but don't forget every week there is a Serie A and La Liga version for you to watch on this Clubhouse TV channel as well. We're joined as always by our good friend Taufik Khalil over in Germany, Gelsenkirchen this time rather than Munich. We're not going to talk Schalke today because, well, they're not in the Bundesliga. We will start with Augsburg against Leverkusen. Lever, Taufik, off the back of a really decent win, actually, in the Champions League. And some improvements, or at least some results that are starting to go their way. Is the feeling now at Lever, is it joy or is it more relief that they've managed to sort of halt a bit of a sticky period?
Well, I think it's both, because last year it would have been more joy. Last year it came out of nothing. Now this season, I think the greed is bigger. They want more, and so there is more relief that they are back in track now after a really a tough time. A lot of discussions what's going on. Is it that no one knows what's going on with Alonso and all these things? Will he go to Real? A lot of discussions which brought a lot of unrest into that club. And well, the pressure is high. If you want to defend your title, it's easier to win it. That's what they say, than to defend it. And looks like that they are back in track. Beat Inter, beat Bayern in the Cup, beat St. Pauli in the Bundesliga. So 3 big ones in a row. St. Pauli is not a big team, but you have to beat them, especially when you are in a bad mood.
I wish I could do anything when I was in a bad mood. Augsburg, I mean, their form of the WWK is okay. They're drawing a lot of games. But the fact of the matter is that when they come up against the bigger sides in the league, of which Lever are currently one, they lose.
Well, they beat Dortmund.
Apart from Dortmund. But then they beat Dortmund at home, didn't they?
No, they beat Dortmund at home.
Dortmund away from home don't count. That's what we talk about at the moment.
Well, but they beat Dortmund at home. That gives a lot of self-confidence. They drawed in Frankfurt, and Frankfurt was lucky with the draw at the end. So the self-confidence in Augsburg is in this moment is very high. They are the only Bavarian club, not Bayern Munich, who's still in the German Cup. So as I said, in the moment, the Bundesliga table for them, it's only 13, could be better. As you said, a lot of draws, but especially when it comes against big teams, and that's what it's another match against a big team, against Leverkusen at home. I'm pretty sure that right now Augsburg found their way how to deal with that teams.
Yeah, well, we'll see if they can stop Leverkusen, but it's going to be an interesting one.
That's a draw.
Yeah, do you think
that's a draw?
I wouldn't be against the draw there. We mentioned teams beating Dortmund. Well, Mainz did beat Dortmund recently, of course. They were, I think, better than the result that they got against Leipzig, but they're taking on a Bayern side who, despite that loss to Bayer Leverkusen, were pretty comfy in their 1-0 win over Donetsk on Tuesday night. We're recording this on Wednesday morning. Mainz are just a mid-table side who will get some great results and get some bad results, but I don't think they stop Bayern Munich here.
Well, that's why they are on a nice position on the table.
Yeah.
That's exact the middle. That's what you get when you have good results and bad results. If the scale is in the same level, then you are on ninth position, and that's what happens with Mainz. So you never know what you can expect from Mainz.
Yeah.
But at home with their crowd, they play with a lot of heart, but come on, Bayern Munich last night. That's the reason why I'm in Gelsenkirchen, because they played against Donetsk in Gelsenkirchen due to the Ukraine war against Russia. Donetsk is not playing at home, so they choose to play their Champions League matches in Gelsenkirchen, in Schalke. And they were in trouble at the beginning, and I had a lot of talks. I talked to Max Eberl, who is the sports super star guy in the management of Bayern Munich. I talked to Thomas Müller and to Konrad Leimer, and everybody said the reaction they showed after Donetsk scored after 5 minutes is what gives them a very good feeling that they didn't collapse, that they didn't start to discuss, that they tried to solve their problems they had, and that for me last night, this was more the Bayern Munich style football I've seen in the first third of this season, where before they adjusted some things, it was this crazy hunting for something. Whoever had the ball was just on a hunting list of Bayern Munich, was attacked. That opened a lot of spaces for the fast outside forwards of Donetsk. I don't see Mainz with that fast, guys. So it might be a different game. I'm pretty sure that Mainz will not play even close to that offensive style Donetsk did. Thomas Müller said Donetsk offered a lot. They tried a lot, but they offered us a lot. That was why it was a great game. I see Mainz playing much more defensive, but Bayern was hard. They know it's only 2 matches in this in this season before Christmas, this year before Christmas comes. So they want to finish these 2 matches with success. Big problems, a lot of injured players. We don't know if Harry Kane will come back before Christmas. I don't think so. Serge Gnabry out. Mathys Tel is now back, but a lot of players are out, and we have to see how much energy they can bring on the pitch, because in their mind is the last match already before Christmas. I was at the banquet after the match last night, and Christian Dresen, who's the CEO of Bayern Munich, normally Bayern Munich is not talking about the match after the next match, but yesterday they did it. They talked about the Leipzig match, which is the last match before Christmas. So Mainz here, Leipzig there, but already here, dangerous, but shows what they have in mind, how to finish the season. And the season means 2 more victories.
Yeah, and obviously you get a lovely winter break while we trek out on Boxing Day to watch.
Oh, yeah. I forgot Boxing Day. Yeah. Well, Thomas Müller talked about that, and he said, hey, come on, I could live with that. That's good. We are part of show business. So why always complain about playing? Then the squads have to be bigger. That's it.
I agree. I actually love the Christmas period with football just being thrown at you non-stop is lovely, because it also unsettles things as well when you carry on, because everyone's trying to rotate and change, and so you get some strange results. And I really like it. I think it's a really nice.
For me, as someone who's grown up with football in Germany and with Christmas in Germany, which is, to be honest, for me, which is one of the most boring times of the year. In Germany, we have 3 days off, and if it's a weekend, it could be 4 days off. It's so boring. How great would it be to see you switch on the TV, and what do you see? Old TV shows from the 30s, from the 50s, from the 70s, all boring stuff. No, I want to see the Bundesliga playing. Yeah. I love that. Well, at least we have the Premier League. Yeah, so I'm gonna watch Chelsea and then Arsenal and whatever.
In defence of the German FA, however, it does get quite a lot colder in parts of Germany. It does in England.
Well, normally the problem is in Germany it gets cold in January when we start playing again after Christmas. That's when the snow comes. So during Christmas, always 15 degrees. So come on, let's play football on Christmas.
And Astana, playing in the Europa League in minus 18 degrees against Chelsea on Thursday. So I suppose, someone can manage it. We'll move on to Dortmund, Hoffenheim. We've mentioned a couple of teams who have beaten Dortmund, but again, that is when Dortmund have been on their travels. Nuri Sahin, speaking of the schedule, actually, weirdly, was talking about how unbearable it is for the national team players who just having to constantly do this churn. Now, I have opinions on that, but the fact of the matter is that Dortmund are still a very strange side in many ways, but a side that there is real talent in. And against Heidenheim, it seems hard for the away side to stop them.
It is hard. They play Hoffenheim, a team which have big problems, 2 losses and 1 draw in the last 3 in the Bundesliga. Dortmund draw against Bayern, draw against Gladbach. The only points they lost at home were against Bayern Munich. All other games won at home. A very strong side, very much confidence. Tonight, they play Barcelona in the Champions League. Hey, come on. And if they beat Barcelona at home, or if they don't lose, how big can your chest be? And for me, I'm honest, If I would have enough money, I would just buy Jamie Gittens to put him on my sofa because I love his way. I love the way how he plays. This young lad, is so great to watch him.
I love the idea of buying a really fast footballer and then making them sit down. That's quite a
Well,
I think Telvin corrected me quite rightly as well. Hoffenheim, I think I said Heidenheim earlier. It's Hoffenheim, obviously. They're playing,
it's
and
Hoffenheim.
Hoffenheim actually have a number of injuries at the moment as well, so that doesn't help. I think you're talking about 4 or 5 first-team injuries in that Hoffenheim side, so
Yeah.
it's going to be very, very difficult. And I think a heavy Dortmund win seems
That-
strong. It's a game that we
yeah, that's a 4-0.
yeah, it's again, there's not really a huge amount to say on really in the short term. We will finish with Leipzig against Eintracht Frankfurt. Leipzig a narrow loss in the Champions League on Tuesday night. But Eintracht Frankfurt, I mean, again, we saw them have an amazing season 2 years ago, but it arguably wasn't as good as this one has been so far. Omar Mamouche, we've mentioned several times on the show, is scoring an absolute bucket load. I just think that Eintracht Frankfurt look like a brilliant team with a very sharp goal-scoring point to them.
Absolutely, they are. But 2 weeks ago, this whole same match was played in the German Cup
Yeah.
in Leipzig. And who won? It was not Marmouche and co.
It was
No,
3-0.
Marmouche. It was a 3-0 for Leipzig. So Frankfurt out of the cup. It was a big surprise because that was on the peak of a very bad period for Leipzig, and everybody said, if they lose that against Frankfurt, then goodbye Marco Rose. He's still there. Well, we will see. They have 2 tough matches against Frankfurt, and then the last match in Munich. If they lose both, then I'm pretty sure that Marco Rose there's a chance that he will be fired over Christmas, because that is a long period to do something. You have 5, 6, 7 days before the season start to get a new coach installed. It's not that you bring him in on Wednesday and he has to show what he already achieved on Saturday. So for Rose, this is the season final. This is a year's end final, which is. The question is, what is in his Christmas present package? Is it that I can stay, or is it that I have to go? And for that reason, he has to beat Frankfurt again. As you said, a strong side with Mamouche. Leipzig, a lot of frustration after losing to Aston Villa. Another loss, one of the first teams who drops out of the Champions League, of the new Champions League. 5 matches, 5 times lost the match. Wow, that's a tough one. So, and I know Leipzig, as I said it sometimes, it's a marketing construct. They want to sell their drinks. What they do is all for advertisement. That's why this company from Austria brings in a lot of money into all these clubs in New York and in Salzburg and in wherever they are, and especially most money into Leipzig. And the moment the success is not there, the moment the marketing is bad for your drink, and the moment the marketing is bad for your drink, you start to think, is it worth that I throw in all that money? This drink tells you that we give you energy, but this club is playing without energy for a long time. So yeah, everybody makes jokes about that. Why not drink your own drink? Then maybe you have more energy. Or is that what happens when you drink your drink? So a lot of bad jokes. Yeah, and that's something this company doesn't want. All what the money giving company behind Leipzig is doing has something to do with marketing. And if the marketing is not working, bang.
But it does feel, doesn't it? I mean, obviously, Rosa has survived after that Wolfsburg result. I was very surprised that he stayed at the club. I mean, obviously, to get hammered in the way they did at home, 5-1 by Wolfsburg. But it does feel, even if they get wins at the moment, it feels a little bit like a dead man walking. Does that make sense? In that, probably from whatever happens here, he certainly won't be manager next season. It's just about how long he survives this one.
Absolutely, and everybody is waiting what will happen if Jurgen Klopp takes over on January 1st as a global football ambassador, head off, or I don't know, and then with how much energy is Jurgen Klopp going in, and how much does he want to see what's going on there? Will he stop it? I'm pretty sure that he will not take over the bench. what a lot of people discuss. Will Jurgen Klopp come and take it over for, say, 5, 6, 7 weeks until they find a new coach? I don't think so. But it's, as you said, it's a dead man walking. He needs to win the next two. Then I'm pretty sure he has a very silent Christmas. But if he loses against Frankfurt, what can happen? And if he loses in Munich, I would say take a nice Christmas break, Marco Rose, because I'm pretty sure that they will start thinking in Salzburg and in Leipzig.
At the same time, you get sacked as a football manager at that level, you're probably going to have a nice Christmas financially anyway, even if perhaps your job's not.
Oh, you can buy a lot of big presents. I'm
So
pretty sure that this. I'm pretty sure that they have
some
something warm to eat for Christmas if he gets sacked.
Yeah, boo-hoo if he gets sacked, I suppose. Tawfiq, thank you very much, as always, my friend. A man with plenty of energy. We're recording this unbelievably early this morning, so I'll blame that on my mistakes. And Tawfiq's continue, however, his fantastic professionalism. We will speak to you again very soon, my friend. Don't forget to take a look at the videos on the YouTube channel, or the Clubhouse TV channel. And don't forget to gamble responsibly at all times.